Welcome back to episode 34 of the Moon or Dust Show. We are getting wrecked. The markets are wrecked. How you feeling today?
The first thing that I said to you is I want to sell everything. I don't actually, but this has been this is like the hardest that it has been to remain positive in such a long time, because you were here during 2023. Like, you remember, like, you were still doing all this stuff, and it's like 2023 felt like this the entire year, but there was like no hope. And what sucks is we got like that really big pump not that long ago, which made us think that we were going higher, but then like we just didn't. So it's just been brutal, man.
Yeah, it's a really rough market. We haven't had the easy mode period like we did in 2021, especially not for NFTs, which bugs a lot of people. That's probably one of the questions I get most. When are NFTs coming back? What NFT should I buy for the next cycle? It's like it's not like the 2021 cycle. Right now it's like altcoins, where you need to pick the right altcoins. You need to pick the right NFTs, because not everything's gonna make it. Especially not if you're like shopping blue chips. Yeah, they get wrecked. But let me pull up the charts here. Present, share screen, window.
Yeah, because I have a question about that.
Go for it.
So, like, you have to pick the right stuff these days. Do you think it's generally insider based, or like, what do you think is leading to the pump for a lot of this stuff? I know we're going to talk about NFTs and stuff later, but is it like the speculation of tokens still primarily, or what? Because, like, for example, like eggs did well this week.
Yeah, that was because it was related to a specific project, like an OG one, and they're pushing something, the whole play to earn. Everybody's been saying, oh, when's the next Wolf game? Especially with like things like On-Chain Heroes. Some people are calling that one next Wolf game. There's a few projects that I'm talking to that are trying to build games, and they're looking at all these old school games, Raid Party, Minus the Rug, Wolf game, stuff like that. But I think long term, you probably got to talk to teams, see if they're actually building. Like I tweeted this week, I bought some Jirasans. I mean, you got things like Pudgy Penguins, where, I like the founders. I think they're here to actually build something and make the project grow and give back to their community. I think those are the kind of bets you got to make. If not, you just got to be doing catalysts, which, yeah, that's mostly insider info. You got to know, okay, is it this NFT? Are they going to have a token airdrop? When is it going to happen? How much is it going to be? And be able to speculate. I mean, even when I talk to projects, they don't tell me how much they're going to airdrop, but I find out percentages. I do the math on my own with estimated FDVs. But part of it is having access to certain people, teams, or just friends in the space. So I guess you could say part of it is like insider, similar to like meme coins. When there's a meme coin that's coming up, if you know the team, if you know a dev, you're able to say, oh, okay, this thing's legit. It's not going to be like an instant rug, and you're able to put in a lot of money when it's low. That's still insider, but it's just your network. So yeah, I think there's two ways. One is buying things you believe in, and the other one is just catalysts, which is short-term plays, which we're going to look at one like Kibby this week. It went up 50%. If you knew they were going to tweet about their token, if you knew their sale was coming up, you could have bought, listed, and it would have sold. So there are plays like that you could do.
Yeah. I was just interested in hearing your thoughts on that. And I know we'll talk about it more, but yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate everybody pulling up to the show. If you could hit that like button, it really helps the show hit a wider audience. It's free to do. It's right down there. Hit that like. What's up? Got everybody in the audience here. We got Icy, DJ, some of the usuals. But let me pull up. We have the chart right here. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you hitting that like button. Let me pull up the chart here. As you can see, I'll zoom in. A bloody a bloody day, but a bloody week. Bloody 7 days. We are down 7% on Bitcoin on the week. Everything is red across the board. Even Tether is red. That's a joke. But yeah, man, everything is getting wrecked. And it's exactly what you just said. We had that pump recently where everybody, we all felt rich. The meme coins were pumping. So it felt like easy mode, like, oh, I'm going to make so much money. We were all speculating on prices. The funny thing is we knew that September was going to be a bad month. August is typically bad, and September is typically the worst, one of the worst months of the year. I went through the NASDAQ as well. I have like a 30-year chart that I made. I should pull it up, but I basically went through every single month. And even for the stock market, September is the second, not in terms of percentage, even though September is, I think, one of the worst months percentage-wise, but in terms of up or down, just green versus red, September is the second worst month for the stock market as well. And but the good news, though, is October and November are the best months of the year for both Bitcoin and the stock market. For stock market, November has been positive over the last, I think, 30 years, 80% of the time. That is crazy. And for October, it was like 65% or 62%. And then same thing for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is green typically in October. I think part of that is self-fulfilling prophecy. If we're constantly saying October is going to suck, like everybody's going to sell, they're going to get scared, or they're not going to buy because they're like, oh, we're going to go lower. But here, let me pull some stuff up here. I mean, part of this was started by the NASDAQ sell-off here, the U.S. stock market sell-off, which was led by NVIDIA on that day. I believe this was Tuesday, if I'm not wrong, because Monday was a holiday. NVIDIA was down 9.7. I'm not sharing my screen. NVIDIA was down 9.7%. And obviously that came with the news of the subpoena from the DOJ for like antitrust laws, which sounds, I don't know why they're going after them like this. And apparently this was completely fake. Like this was not real at all. They did get a letter, but it wasn't a subpoena for antitrust. It was just like, hey, we need some info. Can you help us out? It wasn't against NVIDIA, at least from my understanding. So it was overblown. But this kind of led the bleed here, spread into the crypto market, and crypto started to tank. Everybody was saying the job numbers were going to be the big factor here, which I do. If you listen to Jackson Hole, when Jerome gave his speech, he said, like, we're done with inflation. Now what we're focusing on is jobs. And the job numbers are actually, unemployment is actually going up very quickly. So people are scared. Look, all these numbers are fake. I don't believe any of their numbers. Today, the job numbers came out, and the estimated was 4.2. The actual is 4.2. So that's good. I'm sure they're going to revise it again next month. They're going to be like, oopsies, but I don't care. Look, I want things to say positive. But I don't think they're going to nuke the markets before the elections. And then the other thing that everybody's talking about now are the rate cuts, right? The new narrative are the rate cuts. We're going to get a rate cut. It's happening in 12 days from today. It seems like guaranteed that we're getting a rate cut. That's also what Powell said during his Jackson Hole speech. And here now the percentages are moving. So it's still likely that we're getting the 25 basis point, which is 0.25% rate cut. And then 43, this is moving up. This has been steadily moving up, that we're getting a 50 basis point rate cut. Personally, I do not want the 50 basis point rate cut. I know everybody wants it. They want rates to go down so it's easier to loan money and the printers go back on. I do not want this, because to me, a 50 basis point signals, oh man, we're in trouble. They waited too long and now they're rushing back in, and that's going to trigger a lot. I mean, the number one thing I hear people saying is recession's coming, which I do think it is, but I don't think it's coming as soon as they think it is. Everybody thinks it's coming like the second they cut rates, like boom, we're going to go down only. Like that's never how it works. I think we at least have a few months. I think we have until like early 2025, mid 2025. What do you think?
I will say this, that when you don't sell in March, when everything was going crazy, ETH was at 4K, Bitcoin hit all-time high, I think it's because everyone had the consensus that we were going higher. So we didn't, right? Like that's how that worked. And so my thing is this, that I think you're probably right. I feel like depending on what the Fed does, and then just leading into historically better months in October and November, I would be probably looking to take some off the table because of how weird this cycle has been. And so that's kind of what I've been thinking about as I say to myself, like, because I have stables, but I'm just like, it's not super unreasonable during a cycle for there to be 40 to 50% retracements across the board. But like altcoins, I mean, we were talking about this, altcoins completely erased their entire 2024 move. It's like we're sitting, like alts are back where they were in 2023 the whole time.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, meme coins are just in like the same spot where it's, I saw this tweet where someone basically said that yesterday there were only 4 coins that went above like 100K off of Pump Fund yesterday. And so yeah, I mean, there's just I don't know how you feel about this, but it just feels like there's no retail. I feel
There
like
isn't. There isn't.
yeah, I feel like we're just playing like hot potato between each other. And even someone like me, and I did want to talk about this, like on I will say this, weirdly enough, I had one of the better trading past 2 weeks that I've had in a while. Like I only lost 1 trade in the past 2 weeks, but I've only taken like 8, but I've made like over 10-15 grand. I'd have to like go look exactly at how much, because the money value of it keeps going down. But I think there are still trades to be made. You just have to be careful about what you're doing.
100%. Yeah, I agree. There's trade to be made, especially like leverage traders right now. I'm sure a lot of them are cooking, whether unless you get liquidated. But let's say a good leverage trader, like the volatility right now in the market is crazy. Like, dude, this morning we went above 56. We went almost to 57K. I mean, let me pull my screen back up here. Like, look at this move in the chart. So the job numbers came up. We pumped because it was positive. We went to 57K. And now we are just nuking. Like, imagine you shorted here. There's a lot of money to be made if you're actually good at it, right? We need face melting bull run back. Yeah, I agree. I think everybody wants that. You know what I think right now everybody was waiting for, dude? I think everybody was like, because I even thought this too. If we get a pump back to 65 or whatever it is, like I'm going to take some off the table. And it seemed like I hope we get it, but it doesn't feel like we're going to get it. It's always the path of max pain, which is, right now it feels like that's going down. But there's times where everybody's sidelined and then it's up only. That's what the path is. I did see one of the traders I follow, Trader Main. He's saying, 48K here. Maybe we go to the low 40s. 44K is the number I'm hearing the most. 50K is realistic. Yeah, I do think so. But I think people switch up so much, dude. When the market's pumping, everybody's like, oh, we're going to new all-time highs. As soon as we start dumping, they're like, oh, 44K, 38K, all this stuff. I watched, the guy showed for the number, Benjamin Cohen there, the Into the Cryptoverse. He's a good Bitcoin analyst. He kind of laid out 3 situations. The bull case, the bull case, which was no landing, I guess they call it, for the Fed, is we have a bit more pain here, and then obviously we go up. But the low would be, I guess, like low 50s. The soft landing would be into the 40s, and then the hard landing, I'd like to say 30s, but he said as low as sub 30. Dude, that would be painful. We'd erase like a good part of everything we gained over the past. How many people in the audience, just how many of you have taken chips off the table? Even like Ash, you and I have stables, but it's probably stuff we've made of our actual bag that went up. Like, I don't think I've taken much off the table.
What I have done is I have been swapping wins over into stables more recently.
Yeah.
I think I told you about this like a month or 2 ago, but I wanted to wait until crypto went way higher. Like the ETH and Sol were over like 5K and like 250. And what I wanted to do was just at that point swap from, like, if I bought a shitter and then I made like $1,000, then I would just swap that, like the profit, into stables. I have been doing that more recently. But it's just weird because if you really think that crypto is going to be something big in the future, which it already is, then these prices, it's like, it doesn't matter. It just depends on your time horizon. Like if you're trying to pay your rent money with crypto, then, yes, I can understand how Bitcoin going from 60K to 40 might be, kind of bad. But if you're looking at it from like a long-term horizon, then now is like a good time to DCA into stuff long-term. I just think everyone's impatient. Like the people that are in crypto are just generally like they need this instant gratification. They need it right now. But it's like if you zoom out, yes, the stock market is doing really well, but Bitcoin is up like 3 or 4x from the lows. And that was in the span of like a year and a half or 2 years. And there aren't many stocks like Nvidia, obviously, but there's not a lot of stocks that are up 4x in
There
the
was
past. Like,
it was 7 stocks like like holding up the stock market that
yeah,
were up, like
yeah. So if you really think about it, it's really about having a good profit taking strategy and being liquid enough to where you can buy size at the bottom. Like, I'll just tell you this. I did not have a lot of dry powder at the bottom of Bitcoin because I had already sized into like ETH and mainly ETH and some alts like earlier than that because I didn't think that we were going to go that low. Um, so yeah, I just think that, and I see this in different like discords and chats and stuff. I don't know if you see this too, but people are asking me, they're like, should I stable here? And I'm like, dude, if you're asking if you should stable here, but you weren't taking profits like a month or two ago, then it's just like, you might as well just hold at this point. Like,
or stable, 25% or something.
yeah,
Like
yeah, or
there's
just
nothing
stable.
wrong with taking a portion.
Yeah. Yeah. It just depends on the person because like people are like, oh, should I stable here? And I'm like, well, how much money do you have? Like, how many stables do you have? Like, do you need this money? Like, for me, like, I'm not gonna take chips off the table at this point. Because
But
to
let's say
me,
it is worst case scenario and we go down. Look, I don't think we're going here, but let's say we go to 2024. I'm throwing a number out. That's painful. That's painful for a lot of reasons. Like we watched the market go up to 70 something K, and then it goes back to, it gives an entry to people who haven't been here for the past year. Like there's ego involved. There's so many things involved here that are going to hurt.
dude, if the market drops to 40s again, like low 40s, it's gonna be bad. But you're right. It's like it will give entries to people that have been, you know, that have been waiting sidelined. So I don't know. I think the big lesson here is if you're on Twitter, you have to like really not pay attention to what people are saying because of what you just mentioned, which is when Bitcoin's hitting 70K, everyone's talking about how it's going 100. And then when Bitcoin hits 55, everyone says that we're going to 20.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't listen to these people because no one really knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just people that are talking out of their ass and they're trying to get clicks on Twitter.
Yeah. I think the other thing to consider is like all the ETF money. How low can we go before people get really pissed who put money into the ETFs? I know it's hard to see on screen here, but if you look, it's been red the past. We had a holiday on Monday, so it's been red the past 7 days. Like they've been selling off. It's obviously we have the grayscale, which is just constant sell-offs. That's normal. That's people converting. But Fidelity started selling 2 days here this week of minus 160 mil and then minus 150. Like that's rough. We've only ever had 2 days of BlackRock actually selling, and it's not much, like $13 million, absolutely nothing. But still Fidelity. So we have 7 days here negative. ETH has just been an absolute mess. It's just been red all over. ETH's been getting crushed. But yeah, like I think if we go down to 20, I don't think that's going to happen, especially with the ETFs here. BlackRock would catch some ish here for that. But you had just said something, and I had a point I wanted to make, but I forget what it was. Just survive September. Yeah, I mean, look, if the recession fears, we know the rate cuts are coming. What's it actually going to lead to? I think a lot of people are cherry picking. I'm working on a video of this, but it's hard because this is very, it's technical info. I put something on my YouTube like, would you guys want to see longer interviews from crypto and like experts? I worded it wrong. I'm watching a lot of interviews from just like economic people, economic experts. I might bring some on to do some interviews here because I want to know their opinions. Like, as much as I can look at this stuff, I'm not an expert. We're not experts at this stuff. I think a lot of people are cherry picking these charts. Here's the the rate cuts. So whenever the rate cuts, the gray lines here are the recessions. Look, when rate cut, recession, rate cut, recession, rate cut. Like people are cherry picking this. It's not one to one. It's not like rate cuts equals automatic recession. The other one is the treasury, the 2-year versus the 10-year. So when they invert, like at one point, the 2-year pays more than the 10-year, which if you're taking longer risk, you should get more money. And you could see every time that they've reverted, it has we've had a recession. There's been one here, and this is the longest I believe that we've been in inversion at the end here. Let me zoom in just so you can see it better. This is the longest that we've been, and so everybody's saying, oh, we're about to flip, therefore we're about to get a gray bar, we're about to get a recession. One, an economic recession versus asset prices are two different things. I think that's one thing people aren't considering. I don't know. I think people are waiting for this like perfect dump of them being able to buy in. They're talking about how like Buffett has, so much cash, and like the housing market's overpriced. It's going to crash 40%. I don't think we're getting that. I do not think we're getting that at all. Like, dude, rates just boomed. If we go back to this chart here, like rates just went up from 0 or near 0 to above 5%. And like housing prices didn't go down. I don't see any reason. I agree there's certain areas where it's overpriced that prices are going down, but generally overall, I do not think you're going to get these. Like the 2008 housing crash was a once in a lifetime opportunity to buy, in my opinion. And let me refresh it here. I saw Icy just said, oof, 54K, but it's a bit higher. But yeah, it's rough. Yeah, dude, the 2008, in my opinion, was like a once in a lifetime opportunity for housing. I don't think it's going down, at least the way in Canada. We're bringing in way more people than houses that are being built. So I don't see any reason why the housing market would go down, especially as rates are being cut. So I just think it's going to get rougher and rougher. I don't see these assets prices going down. Yes, I do think Bitcoin can go down, but I think long term it's going to be up. But what you said, like, yeah, it depends on your timeline. Me too. Like, dude, me too. I want to be a billionaire by next week, but I do, like, part of me is thinking, like, with different investment accounts that I have in Canada, we have a tax-free savings account. I'm like, okay, this I need to think of on like a 10, 20 year horizon, which is hard to do because let's say you put 10 grand into an account, it goes to 50K. You're so happy. And then it corrects back to 20. You're like, well, why didn't I sell that? And now I could buy in my 50K. I could put it in at 20 and it would be worth, so much more, or I would have so much more of the asset that you're buying if it's Bitcoin or stocks or whatever. I understand that psychology is very hard to get past. That's why a lot of people don't take profits, because you're like, oh, Bitcoin's going to 100K. Why would I sell at 70K when it's going to 100? I'm missing out on so much. But now you're like, why didn't I sell? Because I could buy in, and you're doing all these games in your head. So you just got to accept the volatility, and it's one of the most, if not the most volatile asset. DJ here saying FTX refund in Q4. People are getting their money back. Yeah, I have that here. Ash Crypto, a different Ash. The inferior Ash mentioned it here. They're going to pay out up to 60 billion. I don't think it's 6. I think it's going to be like 12. But 16, excuse me, I think it said 60. But to its creditors, I mean, I think the odds that this happens in Q4, I'm not sure what their actual timeline is. It's not like they're giving back 16 billion in one transaction. I think it's going to take a lot of time, kind of like Mt. Gox. But I did see, look, I don't know who this dude is. Okay. He could be like a troll, but he's saying like, it's probably going to come out in Q1. A lot of creditors apparently bought the debt of people, so it's not going to go to retail. It's not going to flow back into it, just like retail's hands to be able to buy up crypto. Again, I don't know who this dude is, but I think it's good to look at both cases, not just the bull case of, hey, we're getting 16 billion liquidity injected and that's all going to flow into crypto. I think a portion of it will, and hopefully over 50% of it will, but I'm not getting my hopes about any of this stuff anymore. Like I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Tell me when it actually happens. Yeah. here for the cat. She's not here today. She's on the couch. But Ash's dog is back there. How's your dog doing?
He's doing okay. I mean, that's all I'll say. It's been a tough past couple weeks, but yeah, if you're here for dogs and cats, we have those.
They'll be in the backgrounds.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the NFT side of things. Let me just pull some up on screen here. So NFTs have been doing, look, despite the crypto markets doing bad, NFTs have been doing pretty good here. We have Jira-san, which is the God Jiras that are fused, basically the Gen 1s, the Gen 2s, and the Fusions. You were able to, I want to say burn them. Don't quote me on that, but you could burn them and you could claim the Jira-sans here. It's a 10K supply, even though only 8,448 have been claimed / minted, because I think they also had 1,000 that they did pre-sales for or something like that. I went and picked up. I grabbed 10 the other day just to support Shen and what he's doing. And I think they're look. I'm not here to support. I'm here to make money. But I think they're doing some good stuff. It's kind of the PG group NFT now. It's like I view it as their Genesis NFT. This holds many brands: Redacted, Jira-san, iAgent, Protocol, Bullex, Maxi, and Magically. I think iAgent has a node sale coming up, which is interesting because just before the show we were talking about my node tweet. Where I kind of shat all over nodes. I got to look at the details of their nodes. But I do believe, if there's an airdrop for Redacted, I think it's going to, obviously going to go to the Jira-san holders. And I really like what he said here. He's kind of trashing other projects there. We could like saying, oh, they only do whitelist and game integration, which like, yeah, who cares? It's cool when your NFT is in a game for like 5 seconds. And what they're doing is they're going to consult other projects. They're going to get equity in those projects rather than charging them a fee. So hey, I'll help you for free. Give me some skin in the game here. They're going to get rev share from that, which is going to help them survive over time. And then if that project has a token, who's going to get the token? It's going to be the Jira-san holders. So that's cool. I think I had asked him about the whole security stuff with that, and he had an answer for it, but I would have to go back and check. But I think that's cool, especially with Redacted coming. I think it's one of the hyper ones a lot of people are talking about, and one of the coins they're looking forward to. I did see somebody in the comments ask a question about upcoming tokens. Yeah, here. What do we think about Web3 gaming heading into Q4? A lot of raises and liquidity lately. How are you feeling about upcoming? Also existing projects and altcoins on the market, but how are you feeling about upcoming gaming tokens? I know we've both done a lot of investments into this stuff.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like a long-term horizon type of thing, and you have to pick. It's what you were saying about NFTs is like you have to pick the right ones. Whereas last cycle, you could kind of just buy anything and they would all go up, like regardless, because people were just piling money into them and there weren't a lot. And it's like now, and I think a lot of people know this, it's like there's so many games that you can choose from. Like everyone launched a token, everyone's doing around. And so it's like you have to pick. And also like a lot of people are kind of fudging their numbers. So we don't really know how many players like a lot of these games have. And so what I would want to do is it's like if you could find games that have like real player bases that are actually enjoyable, if they have tokens, invest in those. And then just try to not get scammed by the ones that are fudging numbers. Like, I think that's really what it comes down to. And then the other thing is just that the last cycle, the like gaming was the narrative. And I don't feel like that's necessarily the case this cycle. So my point is that, yes, there are games that are going to do well in terms of like returns and there's, in player base and like that kind of thing. But you really have to, you almost have to like know the teams to be able to build your own rapport and your own like idea, because you know that there's a lot of these gaming projects that are paying people, and it's like how many of them are legit, how many that aren't. It just feels so much like different. So I don't know. Like, am I bullish on gaming long term? Yeah, of course. And there are some like great games, and there's a lot, but I'm kind of looking at the negative side of it, which is just like all of the random games that are coming up, because we've seen a lot of people do raises. We've seen a lot of NFTs for games that haven't done anything. They just marketed and went crazy like over marketing for a month and now they're dead. So it's like, what happened to all of them?
Yeah,
That's my thought.
I think the games with actual players. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Play Off the Grid does. I mean, dude, I think it's live right now. I can go play it on weekends. This game is awesome. I really like it. I don't know if you've played it, Ash, but I
No,
think
I
this
haven't
is one
actually.
that they're when they launch their token, I'm expecting it to be in the billions. I know they did a node sale, it was kind of a closed node sale. I'm not sure if they had a token raise. I wasn't able to get it, but if they did, I think you're going to win if you did this one. There's a lot of games coming up, like there's the Super Champs, which I've been literally farming both their games daily. I think their token can do good. I'm not expecting billions, but especially that I hold their NFTs, I think I'll get a good airdrop, even if it's just at 100 million, which I think is gonna actually hit 100 million. There's things like Goat Gaming that I'm farming, which even if it's 50 million, I think the airdrop's gonna be worth it for the NFTs that I hold with the price that I got in at. But dude, is like I'm looking through my list here of things I've invested in. Like I didn't do Portal, you did Portal, but Portal was kind of the one that kicked all this off and got people throwing money into investments. The same way Zai with the Zai nodes, when those launched, it was a cook for people, and everybody started throwing money into nodes. Then Aether was able to raise like 100 million, and everybody left and right started throwing stuff into their nodes into their plans, which I tell most of them not to do it. But yeah, Portal just been down only. Like the unlocks on this thing are crazy, and they only have 27% other token that's on the that's circulating. Like to me, this is just going to continue to bleed out. Pixelmon, let's do Mon maybe. Yeah, there you go. Mon Protocol. It's been rough for this one, dude. It's again also been down only. Same thing, only third. A lot of that's what I've noticed. A lot of gaming tokens, especially a lot of the ones that did like a public raise, the low float, high FDV has been a major issue. This is something I noticed during the Alpha Wolves fantasy draft, whatever you want to call it, where we did that, where I had to think like, what token do I buy? Because I was last to pick. Everybody had chosen their tokens based on that category. I had one token left. I didn't know what to pick. Like I was just going through the list and I was like, man, all of this stuff has crazy unlocks, no circulating supply. Like there are not that many good tokens. I think it's a great exercise to do that kind of thing, figuring like, hey, I can only buy 3 gaming tokens or I have to pick 9. Do that. I have to pick 9. What am I picking? And it's really going to help you figure out like, oh, a lot of these tokens, the tokenomics aren't favorable here. Obviously, look, I invested in Mon Protocol. I worked with them. I dumped all my NFTs now, but I had the NFTs. It's not faring good. And it's like, hey, what's going to pick this thing back up? I don't know. One thing they're doing is when you stake it, you get access to a ton of gaming tokens. But like we're saying, every gaming token is down bad. So it's like, I don't think it's a bad buy, especially at these price levels. Like, dude, how much lower can it go? Obviously, it can go lower, but how much lower can it go? So if you're staking, you're getting access to other tokens. Same thing, I guess. Memeland has the same. It's not a gaming token, but it has the same. It's at 600 mil. When it launched, it was like at two bill something. Yeah, this one too. It's the same premise. You stake and you're getting other tokens. And I think these projects, and me as well, I thought, hey, being able to stake a token and getting access to other people's tokens is going to relieve some of the sell pressure on your token. But it's kind of like, why would I stake an asset that's going to decrease in value just to gamble on other assets? That's where it gets really tricky. Especially, I don't think they've had a launch recently that you received, and the last 2 that they did were raffles. So even if you had been staking for months, I didn't hit on YOLO, which really triggered me. And then I had there was whatever happened with Borpa. My cat's crying in the background here, but yeah. So I'm just looking through my list here, and like games.gg, it was one I invested in. I mean, this one, Becker really pushed this one hard. It's currently like same thing. It's down only. Sorry, my cat's. Come here, sweet. My cat was crying. Yeah, this one's been down only. Like, thankfully, I sold on day 1, so I was able to get my initial back. But there's some like, dude, Well 3, I got absolutely cooked on. And I put like 10K into this thing, like one of the worst investments I've ever made in my life. It is down 50% from the value I invested in, and it's probably just going to keep going down. There's some that I'm just waiting for, like, or this is one that I had on the list for later. But Neon Heroes. I mean, Neon Hero. Let me just go get the.
That game is awesome, by the way.
So I tried it yesterday because it's been trending on Epic. It's trending, I think, top 5. Here, I have that too. So the Epic Store released an article on it. It's trending top 5. Yeah, you can see it here. I went to try it though, and like maybe I needed to play with friends or something. I was kind of like, yeah, it's Overwatch with cats.
Yeah. You gotta look at it for what it is.
But like, okay. Look, I invested in it. I have money in this thing and I want the team to do well. I'm not trying to dunk on it, but like it's Overwatch with cats.
I mean, there's only so much you could do. Dude, I thought it was my thing is when I look at Web3 games, I look at them compared to other Web3 games. I don't compare them to.
But you can't. You have to compare them to Web2 games, dude. If you want the game to go viral, look, I get it. If you want the token to go up, but even look, the token's been same thing. It's been down only.
What's what's the market cap? I can't read.
80 mil FTV right now. Market cap is,
that's not terrible. It's not terrible. I hear
they only have 10% of the tokens out. So market cap is 8 mil.
Well, okay, let me ask you a question. What was like the worst investment that you did this cycle?
Well3.
Dude, doing rounds in general was the worst decision that I made, and I'm just happy that I didn't do more.
But you did Portal though, which basically covered all your rounds.
Yeah, Portal. So Portal basically, I made money and also did end up like getting refunds for some like rounds that I didn't want to do anymore. But the round thing was definitely that was the worst thing, because I would have rather had just taken that money and just aped it into a shitter.
Yeah, or just put it into Soul. Like,
yeah, or just hold the ETH or whatever. Like the rounds were just so underwhelming, and I think a lot of it is just like supply and demand, dude. Like back in 2021, there just were not a lot of projects. Like people weren't at that point yet. And so there was less stuff to buy and a lot of people buying. And now I feel there's not as many people buying and there's too much shit. There's too much stuff to buy.
Yeah, I agree. There's so many tokens. Like this is another one I invested in, Play Mojo. It's been, or Planet Mojo. It's been down only. Again, though, thankfully I sold on day one and I managed to get my initial investment out. So I don't care what, like, obviously I want the token to succeed, but I'm not bothered if it's not doing well because I already broke even and very quickly. This one, I only have to wait like a week for it to launch. That's the other issue with a lot of these coins. We invest and then like, dude, I invested in Lingo. Let me go look at that one. Have they been tweeting? Their pinned tweet is from May here, August 26th. August 7th. Like what's been going on? What's the delay? I guess a lot of these projects are just waiting for better market conditions. And, but it's kind of just like, I don't know what's happening. Like, you know, I gave you money. You're supposed to launch in Q2 and now we're headed into Q4 and you still haven't launched. You know, what's happening with this?
All these projects are saying the same thing. They're all like, we're waiting for better market conditions.
Yeah,
that's all I keep hearing, and I'm just like, dude.
Yeah, Avalon I invested in, but this one I knew it wasn't gonna be till like Q4, Q1, whenever. I forget even when it is, and I'm fine. This one I'm fine waiting for because I really like the game. Another one I did was this one's launching too. I had this in the coin section, but I put a small amount into Dark Times. The game looks cool. And they just tweeted, let me just pull up my tweet here because I have it here. Yeah, they just tweeted the token is coming in September. So at least this one's launching. What bothers me though is I haven't tried the game. I don't like when projects launch a token when the game isn't out yet, because it's like, why are people going to buy? What's their incentive to buy? DJ really wants us to talk about Somo, dude.
There's just nothing to talk about yet.
He said we need a Pokemon collect, trading, and opening pack type of game. Somo will save us. Dude, my opinion is no. My opinion is no. I don't see why Soma would do well. It's a similar vibe to Pixelmon, which look at where Pixelmon is. It's at, it opened up at what, 400 mil or 500 mil, and now it's down to 100 and something. I know the private round for Somo, I think, was 90 mil. The public round was 110 or like 100 and something. And you only get like 10 or whatever percent on day one, and then you have to wait. I think that's going to be, it doesn't mean they can't succeed, but like they're in a really rough spot because they raised, did somebody just, okay, I thought Lingo just messaged me. It's like, are they watching the stream? But somebody asked me about Lingo. What was I saying? Oh yeah, they raised that very high. That's the issue with a lot of these projects, dude. They raised at such high market caps that they're stuck, dude. They are stuck. It's like, hey, we can't launch because our investors are going to get wrecked, but our investors are pissed at us because we're not launching. They're burning. A lot of them are burning through capital. Probably not on the best stuff too, because their product's not even out. Like, I hope it's on development, but they're not doing much marketing outside of like a tweet. Like, who cares about your tweet? And then, yeah, they're just burning through capital. They're going to have to do another. I know projects that need to do another raise that I invested in, and it's like, yeah, you're never getting the same valuation. So I've DJ saying then the projects need to refund. I've gone to projects. Some of them I'm fighting with, like, dude, it's been over a year, and you haven't launched. Give me a refund. Like, what is this? What are you doing? Show me any progress that's happened. So some of them I'm trying to get refunds on. But at the end of the day, it's like, I made the investment, right? If it's a bad investment, I made the investment. Some of them are going to pan out. Some of them aren't going to pan out. What's new with Kibby? I guess we're just skipping to the token section of the video. So Kibby is trying to do a public sale. I believe, don't quote me, okay? Don't get mad at me if I'm wrong. I believe it's 80 mil FDV that they're going for. So they're trying to do a public sale here. I don't know how this is going to go. Especially with if it's actually 80 mil FDV, or maybe that was like their last raise or something. I'm not sure. The NFTs did see a little pump off of this. They, like I said, they were all over the place, to be honest, mostly just bids. They were like at 0.4, and then they went as high as 0.6, so or 0.65. So if you had one listed when they announced the public sale, because this is kind of hinting, hey, our TGE is coming soon. Some people went to buy. I'm fully out of this position. I had 8, and then they went to like 1.7. Thankfully, I sold some. I sold some on the way back down above 1 ETH. The lowest I sold, I think, was like 0.5, but I was already in like profits. So I still made profit from all my trades, but it could have been way higher than it ended up being. So that was unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, at least they're moving forward. I don't know when their token is, but the public sale is coming September 10th. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. That's in 4 days. Look, again, I don't know if it's 80 mil. Okay, I'm forget where I'm pulling that from. Let me go find a DM here. Yeah, okay, I think it's 80 mil for the public. You need a Kaiju Kings pump. I wish, dude. I wish. They're probably just down only, right? I have one Genesis left. I had bought a bunch and then I sold. I should have been trading when they went up, but I always get like, I talk about something and then it goes up and I feel like, oh, I don't want to dump on my followers. I should just dump on you guys. Like, screw this. Yeah, Kaiju King's down bad. I don't know. I've been saying for a long time, I think they need a new leader here. They need a Luca to come in and really take the IP to the next level. Yeah. But let's get back on track here. We were talking about NFTs before we got on to all this stuff. Am I still streaming? Yes. So these eggs absolutely cooked this week. I don't know if you caught these, Ash. I did not. I wish I looked into it when I first saw it. I saw TMA was posting about it a lot.
I bought a rare and flipped it.
Let's go.
And I would have made a lot more money, except Poopy literally, bro, I bought a rare. Poopy had bought like 10 of them. He had like a lot of these, but he had 10 rares, and there's only like 100 rares. And this dude bricked the floor of rares so hard. like literally just completely listed all of them and laddered them. But I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like you already have like millions, dude. Like, what is going on? Like, why are you having to fucking like, it was, oh my God, I was so heated because it was like 2 hours after I bought, he just started like, there were like 5 rares listed, and then he listed all of his, and then there were like 20 or 25 because everyone got scared. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's no fun, dude. Yeah, looking now, they're still pretty good though. They're at 1.15 ETH, and then I don't know what the last let's go. How do you see? I wish you could see like highest last sale, but in order, right? Like what's the highest, most recent higher sale? I don't know how they would work that out, or higher sale per trait. Well, I'm looking at the wrong page here. Here, yeah. I mean, they're still, they're still above 1 ETH. I don't know what you bought in and flipped it at.
It was at like 1.5, and then I
What you bought
sold.
in?
Yeah, I made
Yo, you took a risk, bro. What did you sell it at?
like 0.2.
Okay, at least, dude. That's risky still.
It was no, I'll tell you this straight up because I know we're talking about NFTs. If I
Yeah,
had bought the floor instead of buying the rare, I would
yeah,
have made way more money. Like I would have made it would it I went for the rare play because there's only 100 of them out of 3,000.
makes
I
sense. Yeah,
did not expect Poopy, and this is the issue with NFTs. I did not expect him to come in and completely screw the floor. But if I had bought the floor instead, I would have made like 0.8 or something because of when I bought and how the floor went up. Because I think I bought it when the floor was like 0.23, and then it went up to like 0.36 or 0.37 or something. So I made a mistake, but I haven't traded an NFT like that in so long that I like
yeah.
forgot.
Yeah, dude, it had been a minute since we saw like a public mint. Dude, so just for people who don't know this, I covered it in my NFT video yesterday, but for those who don't know, basically, these eggs were an open edition mint, meaning anybody could mint for 24 hours, one per wallet, but you could just use Sensei or whatever tool and bought that, uh, or just manually like mint on a bunch of wallets. And then when it minted out, CryptoKitties tweeted the link. So people realized, oh, it's related to CryptoKitties. And then as you can see, I had a better chart the other day, but what here? So basically, it was on August 30th. So think 2 days before here. These minted for $20, like 0.008. On the secondary, they're at 0.01, and then they just ran. They absolutely ran all the way up to. Am I still Okay, that's the problem. I'm still filtering by. Yeah, here we go. Boom. So 0.01. Then they tweeted here. They tweeted the link, and then they started running, and then they tweeted more. It's a play to earn game. There's a Telegram. Then they tweeted clues, and you're going to need to collect 11 commons, 5 uncommons, or 1 rare, like any of those options. And these things ran all the way to like 0.38 from. That's almost a 50x, dude. From if you minted public, and if you hit a rare, if you minted and hit a rare, and you sold the top, which was. I saw one at 2.5 ETH, but there's always one that's let's say 2 ETH was the top. That's a 250x basically from your mint. So absolutely cooked. Whoever minted these, like I said, I saw TMA was playing these really well. But it was just cool to see a public mint. I don't know what's going to happen now. They've retraced. Obviously, you need CryptoKitties to do something and to post about the game. There's going to be a token with it, a Zen token. But yeah, I liked seeing this, dude. It felt like NFTs were something was happening. And this week, I mean, you had Jiraverse. I saw Chimpers were pumping. They're up to over 2x from where they were like a month ago. I'm a day one Chimper holders. Their website, dude, they put in so much work with their website and stuff.
Well, there's a lot to be said when you think about the collab process and how like who gets access to those whitelists and these days and shit. Sorry. But yeah, like it's that kind of thing where the public for the eggs it was like people weren't even minting them. Like I don't know, I believe it was an open edition or it was like an open thing, and then they cut
open edition.
Yeah, and then they closed it, and so anybody could have minted it, and so it got into the hands of people that wanted them or knew what it was. So there's still not like a lot of them listed, but it just makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if the collab process is ideal for launching a project these days. And that's like, I tweeted about this and I said that because it's like, I feel like because of how gate kept whitelist has become and who's getting them, like I feel like a lot of these agencies think that they know what the best thing to do is, but I don't necessarily know if that's the case every time.
Yeah, I think the agency one. I mean, I tweeted this. We'll give you one whitelist spot in exchange for a video. You mean like I get to pay you and promote your project? Like, do people not understand how much time it takes? Like research, write, film, edit, make a thumbnail, and to build an audience over the last 3 years, which both Ash and I have been doing. Like, it's so much work. I feel like a lot of the times NFT creators get abused, dude. We get to, especially that we run groups, right? Our groups want whitelists, so the projects or the agencies know we want to work with them, and then they really try to abuse us. And then like you find out like, oh, you paid this guy $3,000 for a thread, but like me, you're asking me to produce a video for like 2 whitelist spots. It's like, what's going on here? And I mean, the on the flip side of that, like, dude, if I was just a shitcoin caller, like, how much are these guys getting paid, man? Some of them are getting paid insane amounts for replies, dude. So look, I'm not a top shitcoiner, so I wouldn't get this kind of money, but I know some of the top people who are getting 5 figures for a reply, not a tweet, not a retweet, a reply. So it's like, why are meme coins paying significantly more than projects that have raised millions of dollars? It's just like where, and then for the collab thing, like, yeah, a lot of it now, there was a period where it really went down. Like so many of these projects, and they're announcing like 5K supplies and stuff. And they're like, oh, we can give you 3 spots. Sorry, we're really tight on spots. And it's like, what are you talking about? There's not even, how many people are in the space? Like, let me pull up back up that Dune thing that I always pull up. Like my videos are, that's why I always tell them, like, you know, oh, I make a video. I spoke about you guys for free, whatever, in my videos, but, it got 3K views. There's 3K active traders. Obviously, there's more people in the NFT space because not everybody is buying on a daily basis. But you got to also consider these are unique buyers. I don't think they factor in here, but I have 3 wallets that I might be buying from, right? There's people who buy from multiple wallets. So it's been between 2K and 3K buyers per day for months. There's not that many people actually buying NFTs. I don't know. I'm kind of ranting here about like our own experience, which I'm sure most of the audience doesn't care about. But it's just been extremely frustrating, and I really hope it changes. There's a lot of gatekeeping, and it's exactly like you said. The public mints, like people felt good about it.
Yeah, the reason, well, I think the reason why, like shit coins and meme coins and stuff, why there's so much more liquidity there. Like there's I'll say this, who are the NFT whales now? There like aren't any. Like that's the thing, is like what I've noticed is that people do like to trade meme coins because of the high risk, high reward, and you can make a lot of money doing that. With NFTs, people like to sell NFTs, but they don't like to buy them and they don't like to hold them. People just like to sell them. And that's the issue, is that like because of the process of how you obtain the NFT, it is in such a way where generally it's low risk, because you either don't mint if you see the floor is a certain way or whatever. Whereas like with a meme coin, you have to take a position. Like you have to take a position unless, of course, you get allocation, which does not really happen for a lot of people. Like this whole getting allocation thing, it is not super common amongst most people, and it is like super tough to get. So yeah, it's just it's different. And I think that the NFT space is trying to, I think they're just trying to relive a time and do things that would have done well, but I don't think that anybody has found like a good answer as to what the best way or like how to launch these days is. And if you remember, like Bored Apes was an open mint and didn't mint out for like a while. Doodles was a public mint that got botted super hard. There's been a bunch of other like NFT project, like Neo Tokyo, you had to get whitelist through doing like quizzes and stuff. Like, and these days it's just like, it's like, okay, you get whitelist if you post and you do marketing, but it's like, it's kind of like how you remember when we went through that meta that you don't see anymore about how they would be like, oh, well, we're going to give you whitelist, but we want you to post like a graphic of you saying that you got whitelist with your thing. Why don't you see that anymore? Like, do you remember when there were all these different things like applications? Why does no one do applications anymore? It's like, I feel like when these things come up and they happen, it will like kind of work and it'll get engagement, and then everyone else just follows them and everyone else just copies them. And so I don't think that like a lot of these people really know what they're doing. I think that they're just copying what everybody else is doing.
Why, during the most hyped time when NFTs were the most profitable in 2021, were we able to get like 100 spots for a project, 3 mints each? There was so many groups competing for these spots, and collabs felt so easy. It was like, oh, how many spots do you want? 100, 2 mints each? Yeah, we could do that. Here you go. Now, dude, there's nobody. There's nobody left. And it's like, we could do 2 spots. We could maybe push it to 3, but you got to vest it for a month. Like, what is this stuff?
No, you're totally right. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, well, you got to vest it. And I'm just, they're like, oh, we got like 1,000 groups asking us for whitelist. I'm like, well, who are these groups, dude? Like,
yeah,
I've never heard of these.
Yeah, now we're going on like a full rant. Who are these groups? There's so many dead ass groups, and I don't understand why these LARP groups that are dead, like that don't have any sort of reason to, or like there's no like you for you, for example, like you have a group and you do videos and all this stuff, and like you're like, so there's like a lot there. I think that what you said is so true, because I remember specifically when projects would be like, yeah, here's 50 spots for a project. And it was like, that's just what it was. And you're right, dude. It's like, why is it that now there's like the supply of these projects is 300 to 500 for all of them. And they're like, we'll give you 1 spot, and it's vested. Why? I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. Because it's not like those are doing well either.
You know what's funny? And I'll never leak who it is, but I know some people, multiple people who have groups, but it's just them. And they've gotten like 20, 30 spots for very hype projects that went high, and they just took all the spots and dumped them. But it's on 30 different wallets, and they just act like it's a group, and the projects fall for it. Or like, some of these advisors fall. And I'm like, dude, that's the meta. Like, forget Kanto, forget Guerrilla Labs, dude. We need to make fake groups and pump this stuff.
Yeah, dude. One thing that I will say is that you and I go about this in a very ethical way, where we have groups and we try to provide value and help people. But it's insane how, even with this collab process that is going on in shit right now, how it all like is and whatever, is that people are still finding ways to take advantage of it. There's still these big groups that like get allocations and they just keep like all the spots. Like, it's unreal. And I've heard of this happening. So whatever. I mean, this whole conversation, in my opinion, is the downfall of like NFTs, which is why something like eggs did well. Yes, it was associated to CryptoKitties. I understand that. But at the same time, it was a public mint that pumped, like you said, what, 50x or something? Like, insane. So you have to study that. You have to say, like, why did that do so much better?
Agreed.
We just ranted about that, but I know it's because we have this frustration, and it's annoying.
I have a thread I haven't dropped yet. I have a full thread written about it that I'm just waiting. But I'm like, I don't want to burn bridges with anybody. I'm not calling anybody out, but I know it's going to piss a lot of people off. And like, I have to work with these people on many projects. So it's like,
you can burn the node sale.
Yeah, nodes I don't care about, because they're coming to me for marketing. I'm like, bro, I don't want to talk about your project. And the funny thing is, it's never like, hey, we'll pay you to make a video. It's like, we'll give you a referral link so you can market us for free. And if nobody buys, then you just did all this work for nothing. If people buy, you get money, but then potentially your audience gets. It's just like, yeah.
I've been offered that too.
But back to NFTs. I know we're pushing the hour here, but let's just go through quickly. Today, the game has been seeing a lot of volume here. I see some good price action, some sweeps going on. Somebody today, over the last 2 days, actually won wallet. Let's go check him out. Yeah, he has a a well 3 NFT. Yeah, somebody just swept some dude. If you have them listed, he bought up to 1. Somebody bought up to 2 ETH. I guess these are rarer ones or what? I don't think so. People are buying up to 2, bro. Yeah, I got to list mine at 2 and see if I get a biter here. But yeah, these guys are pumping here. Look, I keep hearing that the airdrop is going to be good. I have no idea what to expect. I've been holding mine. Mine's max staked. But
Is this a buy? Should I buy one of these and flip this?
I mean, I don't know. You could try. Their second mint is coming up. The second mint is going to be a large supply, 5555. But
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, dude, Grail loves this. I don't know. He's really loves today the game. I haven't tried. I asked them to try their game. I think they said September 10th is when I could try it.
I might make more money buying one of these and holding it for a week and then flipping it. You know, like that might be the play.
Could be. Let me just pump through these links here because I wanted to talk about a few. The first one was, I don't know if you saw this for Trump's world, what's it called? World Liberty token. Dude, yeah. I hope he doesn't do it. I hope they call it quits. This would be really bad if they did it. Apparently, look, I haven't verified this article. This is an article by CoinDesk. They say the team could get 70% of the World Liberty Finance token. And it's funny because they're marketing it as like the financial system is rigged. But we're doing this token. Like, I don't know why they're doing this token. This is the weirdest thing. It means only 30% would be available for public sale. And then I also saw there was like a team, the white paper led back to some team for another token. Look, I don't know too much about this one. I haven't done the research here, but I hope they can this. I hope they do not do this. I think it would be really bad. Just stick to like Bitcoin, bro. Don't do your own product. He's already done 4 NFTs, so it wouldn't shock me if they actually launch this. But I really hope they do not do this because this could hurt. This could burn him within crypto. I do still think we'll embrace him because he wants to pump our bags, but I do think it could be bad if he actually did this. And I hope he doesn't. The other thing I wanted to quickly mention was this Ether Vista. I think I saw you traded this, right?
No, I traded Farm.
That was a separate token?
Yeah, Farm. So there was this, and then there's this thing called Tax Farm, which is like actually a pump fund competitor. I put the link. Yeah.
Okay. Because yeah, a lot of people were. I saw a couple threads. The website is like old school. It's like Windows. That's why they call it Vista. Windows Vista. I saw a couple threads here talking about what it is, and here Sammy kind of explains it. This just confused me like crazy. the one that explained it to me, even though it's not, everybody keeps, if in Sammy's picture you saw he was comparing it to Pump Fund in the image. Everybody's comparing it to Pump Fund. That doesn't seem what it exactly is. It's not a one-to-one. Here, this dude Flynn here explaining basically it doesn't do the contract for you. It does the deployer though. It allows you to deploy coins, and there's a tax in the form of a fee. So it's not percentage of your purchase. It's just a flat fee. So here, for example, 6% goes to the LPers, 3% goes to the Vista team, and then 1% goes to Vista devs, which I don't know what the difference between Vista team and Vista devs is. But so you get a fee. So it kind of allows the person who's launching a coin to make money without having to, do insider buys or buy from the dev wallet and then sell. And people are like, oh, is it CTO'd, all this stuff? But it actually did. It did good. It launched here. It was at $1 and then it took off to $28. I heard somebody sold, I guess from a team, 700K worth. So it nuked and then it pumped back up. It went to 38 and now it's currently sitting at $20. Cool, innovative idea. A lot of people are complaining that ETH, there's nothing innovative happening. I'm seeing a lot of complaints. Yeah.
Well, so Tax Farm is more like Pump Fund. Like that's actually Pump Fund. And
But why'd they launch their own coin? Like Pump Fund doesn't have a coin.
they launched their own coin because there's rev share and stuff.
Okay.
So it's like more, it's actually more like Pump Fund, but with the token. The issue with Tax Farm, and I did trade this and I did make money on it. The issue with this is that there haven't been any good coins that have come from it. And I think that's like the issue, right? Is that people want there to be a coin that comes from it that launches, and it just hasn't. But I don't know if you've seen, but like gas is 25 Gwei right now. So people are trading on ETH more. Dude, ETH just went below 2,300. This is unreal. Just get me out of this market, dude. This is the worst. So bad.
Yeah, it's rough. It is rough. Let me just scroll through the comments before we end it here. Do you prefer mobile game to introduce itself as a game with future token, or absolutely say nothing about the game, about it till the game is live? Like, if the game is a mobile game, then talk about it. But if you're saying like a mini game before the main game, no, I don't want to see a mini game. I just want to see the main game. Pay attention to the kitty. She wants love. I'll show her in a bit. Pluto Misfits Pump. Nah, dude, I'm still only 50. Yeah, I don't know. They have stuff planned. They're just waiting for the market to pump, which, yeah. Are you currently looking at any mints that are coming up? Yeah, I dropped a video yesterday talking about a bunch. Like all gaming, pretty much. Gaming, a lot of free ones. You could go check that video out. I wouldn't blame Poopy, lol. It's just one per. Yeah, but if there's, like you said, there's only 100, right? If there's only 100 and Poopy has 25, he can like solo nuke the rares. He's not complaining about profits. I don't think he was. What NFTs you think are good buys right now, but which might pump? And I mean, financial advice there. I don't know. You could just check my wallet. What am I buying? Let's go see what I bought. I just bought some Jiras. Portfolio here. Look, I bought some Gajiras. I have 30 goats. I have 21 super champs. They're just oops, let me get rid of the comment. They're just staked, so you can't see them in the wallet. I have some infinite gods. So you can just like see what I'm buying and track my wallet. Here's the ENS, sir.
Breaking news.
What?
Pull this up. Let me send it to you real quick. Pull it up.
VanEck to close and liquidate its Ethereum futures ETF. Oh, but it's futures. Whatever. It's not spot. It's not trading 1-to-1 to ETH. So they don't buy any ETH. When you buy this ETF, they don't have to go out and purchase. It's not like the spot one for Bitcoin and ETH.
Yeah.
But it's obviously going to cause FUD. So thank you for that, VanEck.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see. Was there anything else? These alt wads, time to buy meme coins. VanEck pulling out. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think that's it. Bodega, you wanted to see Kitty. Boom. There she is. Pretty girl. There she is. Yeah, I think that's it for today's show. We're going to end it here, guys. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. The next couple of weeks, I'm going to be traveling. I'll see if I could pull something off, but might take a week or two off. I'm going to Token 2049, and before that, I'm going to be traveling just for fun. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But appreciate everybody tuning in, and we drop content throughout the week, so be sure to follow us on YouTube, on Twitter, and watch all of our stuff. Yes, sir. I'll be in Singapore, Token 2049. And then, yeah, appreciate everybody. So we're going to end it here. Let me go get the, can you drop your ETH address here? It's drainme.eth. That's the ENS here. It's on the top left. Boom. But don't copy trade me. Like, you're going to get wrecked. Sometimes I just do dumb stuff. Yeah, let me get the video ready. Okay, I'm going to drop it now. Everybody, thank you for watching. Peace. Video.